Hi, and welcome to Math 105. My name is Cara Lee, and I use she or they pronouns, and I'm really excited to be your instructor this term for Math 105. I'm making this welcome video because we have a hybrid class, and I want to explain how that works and what to do before our first class since we don't meet until Thursday. So first, in case you haven't gotten into D2L or Brightspace before, I want to show you how to do that. First, there's a computer icon. I've logged into my PCC already. There's a computer icon which is probably right behind my video, so you can click on that. Or you can go down the left, scroll down, and see this D2L Brightspace login. Either way, you might see a message up here, announcements, or maybe not. And then you will see all the classes you're taking here. So we're going to click on our class. And this is our course homepage. Okay, and so before we go much further, I want to explain a little bit about the hybrid class to make sure that this is the right format for you. So our class is in person. It's a hybrid, which is halfway in between a fully online and an in-person class. So most Math 105s meet twice a week. Our class only meets once a week on Thursdays. It's a letter R in the schedule. So what that means is you have a little more flexibility, but also a little more responsibility on things to do outside of class. Okay, it's the same amount of work as any Math 105, either web, remote, in person, etc. But most classes meet twice a week. So you can think of what if we were meeting on Tuesday, you can think of that that amount of time. You're going to have some preparation work to do before our class on Thursday. So let me show you all around our class here. And it may not take you a full, 2.5 or 3 hours, but it's just a guideline. So across the top, we have all of our tabs or links to our course items. So Course Home will bring you back to our course home page, which is this page right here. The house will take you back out to all of your courses, or same with this grid as well. So you can use Course Home whenever you want to come back here. And this page, there will usually be some kind of announcement. This is the welcome announcement here. And I am recording these videos to put right here. So this is where the videos will be. And then on the right here, this will always be here throughout our class. This is how you can contact me. So feel free to email, phone, text, or I have a variety of office hours. So some on Zoom, some in person, some in the tutoring center in the library. So a variety of ways we can meet and talk and get help or whatever you need. Then our content tab is where you'll be most of the time. This is where all of our content is for the course. So I'll come back to that in just a second. Discussions, this is a shortcut to the discussions in the class. And we have mostly some general discussion boards, a Q&A, kind of a social area or study group area. And then our main discussion is our introductory one, which is introducing yourself to the class. Talk about that again in a minute, but that's the discussion tab. That's a shortcut. Same thing, assignments is a shortcut to get to all of the assignments that we're going to be. My Open Math is a link to get to our free online homework system. And it's going to look like this once you get in there. I have another video coming up on that, so I won't talk more about that right now. The next link is to our textbook. We have a free online textbook, which I did a lot of writing on. And there is a paper copy available in the bookstore if you want it. It's somewhere between $15 and $20 last time I checked. You don't have to have it, but if you like the paper copy, you're welcome. Get that. Zoom is a way to connect with me if you want to come to Zoom office hours. We don't have a Zoom class. We are meeting in person. Grades is where you'll click once you start turning things in and getting points. That's where you can see all of your points on all the assignments. And class progress is great because similarly, you can see your progress on each item in the course. And then more, there's a class list. If you want to find an email of a student in our class, you can find it that way. And under help, there's lots of great things too. There's some videos, D2L help and quick start videos. We have a student help desk, which is a place you can call if you're having any technology issue. They're very friendly. I've called the faculty help desk a lot. It's the same people, and they're extremely knowledgeable, very helpful. They can help you if you're having trouble with D2L or a hardware issue, anything like that. We have some e-tutoring that's in addition to our on-campus tutoring, and accessibility. So there's a lot of great things in this help tab here under more. Okay, so let's go back to content. And this is on the left side. You're basically going to be working down this list. Think of it as a checklist. I have some things that the instructor student here, so it looks a little more like yours. So think of this as like a table of contents. You can even click on that and it shows you everything at once. The intro to D2L is if you haven't used this D2L or Brightspace before. Those two different names are kind of used interchangeably. It used to be D2L or Desire to Learn. They changed the name to Brightspace. So sometimes you hear D2L, Brightspace, D2L, Brightspace. Those all mean the same thing. That's the program where all of our content is housed. The learning management system. So intro to D2L, if you haven't used D2L before, this could be really helpful for you. If you have, you can just skip right over that. The next important thing is our Math 105 course information. So I usually have an image up here. I've got a welcome image. And then there are several things in each week or module. Those are also used interchangeably. So within each module here, there's also a checklist of things to do inside. And then you'll see after you have visited those, they will be checked off for you. You can see how many things you have left to do in here. Because I've been in here editing, some of my things are checked off and some aren't. So the first thing, you can read a little bit more about me if you'd like, instructor information, and I'll introduce myself on the first day, of course. And then you can click either to the right, there's an arrow at the top and the bottom of each page, or you can go, I'll show you what this does. It goes to the next item in the list. The next thing is our course syllabus, so please read through this. And we'll kind of go over the highlights in class, in our first class. The first thing that's really important to me is equity and inclusion. Everyone is welcome at PCC and everybody belongs there. So that's very important. And this is a great quote from a previous student of mine, which kind of sums up my philosophy. And so they said, the biggest thing I bring with me today is that who controls the numbers has a big say in what narrative is constructed with them. Knowledge and being able to share that knowledge is power. And I'm inspired by you to seek meaning in the numbers in ways I haven't. So I do have a social justice theme in my class, and we'll just be looking at a lot of different relevant things in our class. So I won't go through this whole thing. I'm just going to go through a couple parts here, but here's our general course information, the day and time and room of our class. Again, how to contact me, that's similar to the home page. And I want to go to the materials. I mentioned the free online textbook. The next thing is this, that you'll want to get before class. There is a lecture notes packet, and I've already emailed this to you in case you want to print it yourself, or you can get it from the bookstore. But you'll need those pages to start taking notes with the videos. So you can either buy it from the bookstore, or you can print the whole thing, or you can print a few pages at a time, however you would like to do that. Of course, you're always welcome to write on plain paper. Totally fine. And there are also some Word docs in our shell. I'll show you those in case you would rather type than write. Okay, so that's a very important piece of information. The next important piece is our online homework system. So that's the MyOpenMath that I showed you, and you will see another video on that. And what you'll need in that video, or when you're doing this, is this course ID number and the enrollment key, which is Math is Fun. So when you get to that point, come back to the syllabus and type in that number. A calculator is recommended but not required. So during class time, you can use a phone, not a big deal. But during quizzes and tests, we can't use a phone because phones have many functions. So the most important thing is to have a handheld calculator on quiz days. On our tests, we'll be in a computer lab, so you might want to have a handheld calculator, but there will be computer calculator options. We'll talk more about that on the first day. And you're welcome to bring a laptop. Later on, when we get into financial math, we'll use Google Sheets on a smartphone or laptop, and I will also have some Chromebooks I can bring to class. Okay, so then we go into the course description. There's a little bit of description of a flipped class. So I've been talking about watching videos before class. That's called a flipped model. And because we only meet once a week, we need to use that time really wisely. We don't have enough time for me to lecture within that one class time. So that's why the lectures are all on video. And then you watch the notes, you watch the lectures, take your notes, and it's great because you can pause it, stop it, speed it up, slow it down, whatever works for you. And then you're going to bring your notes to class. And during class, we're going to work on solving problems together. So we do the harder part together, which is actually working on stuff. So we'll be working on class activities, and then depending on the time, if there's time, you might get a little time to work on your MyOpenMath. So that's what it means to be a flipped class. So we have a flipped hybrid. So here's another great part which talks about our weekly pattern. We have kind of the same pattern each week, and once you get into the rhythm of that, you'll just get into the routine and the habit. So the plan is before our Thursday class, you're going to watch the videos and content, take notes on the notes pages in the packet or on plain paper, and then during class on Thursdays, not the first week, but in later weeks, we'll have a little quiz over previous material. And then we'll work on activities together to practice the new material. Then throughout the week, you'll be working on your homework so you can attend office hours and tutoring hours as needed. And then most things are due the next Monday night. So kind of like Monday to Monday. The next Monday by 11:59 p.m., you'll be turning in your MyOpenMath on. And then there are certain weeks that we have a homework write-up, not every week, but at the end of each chapter. Okay, bunch of information just about technology. Here's the student help desk information again, accessibility. Then there's a little bit about each type of graded element in our class, like the lecture notes that you'll be bringing. In-class activities, you get points for that. MyOpenMath, online homework write-ups, the quizzes. There will be one project in our class, and the tests. And then late work and makeup policy. I do have a flexible policy, and I also have really high expectations to go with that. So I know that sometimes you might need a day or two leeway here or there, and I'm totally fine with that. The most important thing is just to communicate with me and let me know what's going on. Just not all the details, but just whatever you feel comfortable sharing. And I will work with you on that. But I also want you to complete everything to the best of your ability. So I would rather have you do something well even if you need a little bit more time past the deadline, rather than doing, halfway job and meeting the deadline. So not every instructor has flexibility on their deadlines, but that is my personal philosophy. So we can talk a little bit more about that in class. So good to check with your instructor on what is their policy. Then we have all the different graded elements and the points in our class to get up to the grade. And then a lot of PCC policies and deadlines. PCC is a sanctuary college, and PCC and I also want to create a safe working and learning environment. So if you experience anything that is not that, any harassment, exclusion, microaggressions, anything like that, please feel free to talk to me. And then if you prefer, there is also some more information here, and you can also do a report that way. And then a lot more policies, general college policies that you'll probably see on all of your syllabi. Accessibility and accommodations. I'm happy to work with you if you have any kind of accommodations. Just let me know, and I'd be happy to talk about that with you. If you're not sure how to get started on that, you can click on this link, and there's a way to get started online. And then there's a lot of campus resources that you can find this link here. Okay, so I know it's a lot. I'll let you take some more time with that. And this time I'm going to go back over to this link, course information, and because I do like to see the list just so I know where I am in the list. So we did instructor information, we did course syllabus. Next, I'm going to click on course calendar. And this has our general weekly pattern again. It's very similar to the one that was in syllabus. And it also has our test dates on here, which are during our class. And then we have a specific week by week calendar. Some people like to print this out and make it like a checklist. And in fact, I'll print this and I'll bring copies on the first day because we're meeting in person, so I can do that. And then you can check things off as you go. But you'll see here before class on September 29th. So watch this video that you're watching now, and then read the course orientation syllabus calendar. And then the most important thing, watch the week 1 videos and bring your notes to class. You're also welcome to read the textbook before or after. That's kind of up to you on how you like to do that. But we will be working on 1.1 and 1.4 during class, our first class, in addition to like get to know you stuff. So these are things to do before class, or the book is flexible. And then on this column, it's during class and assignments that are due. So we'll be working on, some people will do their MyOpen Math before, and we might help some folks during class. You'll be doing a student info assignment, a discussion, and your MyOpen Math. It's everything that's due. Okay, in week 2, starting week 2, we'll have a short quiz. That way, just get that practice, so that you're not having your first test like at the midterm. We'll practice very small chunks at a time. Okay, let me go back here. Next thing on our list here is to create your MyOpen Math account. So you can set that up following the video, and I'll just go right here and I'm going to show you. Oh yes, I was going to show you the orientation. I forgot. I was going to show you the orientation right there, but it's also in the other video, so getting off track. Then the last thing, well, almost the last thing in this module is the student information assignment. This is just a little information about you that you would like to share with me. And I'd like to get to know you better, get to know your learning style, there's any concerns you have or anything you want me to know. And so follow the instructions in here and you'll be uploading a document. If you use a Mac, one thing to know is D2L won't read pages files. So if you're using a Mac, just export that to a PDF. If it generates a pages file, just change that to a PDF. Last thing on this, in this intro module is a little Q&A area. So feel free, everyone's getting used to the system and the class. So if you have a question, feel free to post there. You can post it anonymously as well. And other students can answer it, and I will look for those questions as well and answer those. Okay, so that is our course information module, and just a little bit about D2L. We are back on content here, so we're in the course information module. So I'm going to stop this video here. Well, actually, there's one more thing I want to show you on the left. So that's the course information module right there. And then here I mentioned earlier the pages to either print or buy from the Southeast Bookstore. I'm going to click on that. The PDF file is here as well. So I send it to you in an email. It's right here, or you can buy it from the bookstore. And if I click on it, you can see, second to load, there's a title page here. And then you'll see these are the notes, the pages that I'm writing on in the videos. So it really saves you a lot of time and a lot of writing because you don't have to write every single thing down. You can focus on listening and you have all of this to reference in your notes, and then you're going to fill in the blank parts. Okay? So these are really important. But again, you can write anything on blank paper that you wish. Okay, so please get set up with those so that you can watch the videos. Then after that, I'm going to switch these two things. We have some resources, and if you prefer to use Word files, Word docs, you can use these. So if you prefer to type your notes instead of writing them, you can do that as well. Now these documents are set up for screen readers, and that's also because some people like to listen to the document using a screen reader tool. These are formatted for screen readers, so they don't have any blank lines. So that takes a little bit of getting used to. You'll see a big space after a line, after a text. And if you hit enter, you'll get another big space. So you can, if you're not using a screen reader, you can go in that and select line spacing option and remove the extra space. If you want any help with that, I'm happy to help. Okay, so those are the things I wanted to show you, were those extra files. And then in resources, there are a lot of different resources here, how to scan your assignments, free Microsoft Office, some different D2L Brightspace information, tutoring, PCC resources. Okay, so now I'm going to stop this video. And in the next video, I'm going to go through week 1 and week 2, just to show you what a typical week looks like. But we don't have a chapter assignment in every week, so I'm going to show you both weeks to see what they look like. Okay, thanks for watching this, and I'll see you in the next video.